everybody, welcome to Too Much Information Live, hosted by Moondog, yours truly, where we go over the projects that I worked on this week. I give you background information about that, too much information, and I also will answer your questions about any of those videos. And I'll also ask for your help and your insights and your suggestions on some new projects that I'm working on. So before we get started, though, I'd like to call out and identify our sponsor for today's episode, which is our longtime sponsor, Aura, which is an online cybersecurity company that I use. They help protect me while I'm on the web. What they're great about is that they bundle a bunch of services together that you usually have to get from separate security companies, like VPN, which you probably have heard of a bunch of VPN companies that sponsor a lot of creators out there, like NordVPN and etc. I think they're the largest one. But anyway, they have a VPN service as well, but they also offer a bunch of other services, including credit monitoring, fraud alerts. But here's one of the big ones that I particularly like, is that they will help get your information off the web. There are companies out there called data brokers that will get our information, because a lot of our information is publicly available through governments, but some government agencies and some companies will sell our information. You might not even notice it. It's in the terms of agreement. When you click "I agree," way buried down in all of that fine print is that we can share our information with valued partners or something to that nature, in which case there's these data broker companies that will pay for our information, our names, our physical addresses, our phone numbers, and partial social security numbers sometimes. But so there are literally dozens, hundreds of these data brokers online that buy and sell information, not just to marketing companies, which of course is annoying enough to get spam mail but also to political organizations. So you get those robocalls, especially if you recall over this election. But also there's some nefarious folks on the web. So you can get your information taken off of these data brokers, but it's a kind of a laborious process. And if there's like dozens of them, you're going to have to contact each and every one of them and go through a formal process to have your information removed. But it's really easy if you use Aura. They have a data broker removal service. You just fill out your information once, click that button, and Aura will send out a request, and a repeated request, to each and every one of these data broker companies and get your information removed. And then here's the thing: if you've had this done in the past, well, there's really no solid way to keep them from getting your information again if it's available, say, publicly, like through your city hall or when you register your business or whatever. So they can repeatedly every year request and get your information. Well, not if you're with Aura. They'll keep removing your information from these data brokers. So they're great. So here's the thing: I'm giving you the opportunity to try out all of these services for free for 14 days. All you have to do is just use my link, aura.com/moondog, and you will get a free trial. So use my link, aura.com/moondog, and I will type it up in the comment section, so easier. I think it's easier for you guys to copy and paste from that link. But of course, there's a QR code on the screen right now. So if you want to, use your phone, and you will be able to get that. And wow, okay, we've got a bunch of folks already joined us on the side chat. I appreciate that, for everybody getting here early. So we got, let me just call out some of the folks I see right here. We got Hillbilly. Hey, Hillbilly. And I want to thank Hillbilly again for sharing his expertise and his StreamYard for the live stream today. We got Vadim. We have Mark Morris, and we have the Bentress Marksman. G'day. And we have a special guest today, actually. Speaking of a good day, we have, I'll introduce you to him in a second. But what we have, but first, is I wanted to share, for those of you who got here early, as you may know, I try to give away a little bit of a little prize to everybody who joins me on the live chat today. Well, today we have a long-range marksmanship pack of decals. Got a bunch of cool brands out here. We got Maven. We've got Tract, which these are all really great optics brands. Right On. We got Leupold. Actually, we got 2 Leupold decals. We got Citron, and we got Area 419. So we got all of these, plus you'll get a triple set of Daniel Defense chamber flags. Oh, and a Hawk Optics patch. So you'll get all of these in a, let's just call it a long-range accuracy pack of promotional swag for winning the contest today. And so to win this contest, I'm just show you here, all you have to do is type in hashtag and the name of this brand. And I will bring this up a little bit larger for you to see. Whose brand is this logo? Now, I'm going to give you clues throughout the episode, and you can type in hashtag and the name into the side chat, and you'll be entered into the drawing at the end of the show. So some caveats here. You must be present to win. You have to be on the side chat. You can't just do a hit and run. You must be a resident of the U.S. or at least have a shipping address in the U.S. And that's pretty much it. So here's the clue so far. Just type in hashtag the brand name of this logo. All right. So before we get into our new videos, I wanted to introduce our guest today. This is a longtime friend of mine. Airsoft friend, and he's one of my crew and one of my staff at for Moondog Industries when we go to SHOT Show next week. And I'd like to introduce Para. Para, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so Para is he's my law enforcement and security consultant for Moondog Industries. And if you hear any weird noise in the background, he is at an undisclosed high security location. So he's monitoring some high value items or individuals or things. And so it's a high security facility. So that's the only caveat. So we might hear some alarms or notifications in the background while he's on. But Para, want to give a little background on about yourself?
Yeah, I've been doing this for almost 25 years, on and off. I live in Arizona right now, and I'm still doing what I do best, secure stuff.
Yeah, great free state in terms of firearms, for sure.
Oh, this is true. I moved here, 3 years ago, and I'm already on 4, so.
You got to catch up, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I do.
But I'm sure you're it's different when you have to buy stuff for work and and use it on a daily basis. Whereas, just me, I'm just a hobbyist. So.
Well, I got one for work and I got one for EDC, so. But since I practically work like every day, my duty weapon basically turns into my EDC.
True. So how do we meet up? I mean, it's airsoft. Do you remember which game? This was back in New York.
Yeah, that had to be let's see, my daughter's 22.
Oh my gosh,
she was at least 8. So 14 years we've known each other.
Yeah. And for those of you out there who are familiar with Moondog Industries and NYC Airsoft from my airsoft days, and that I've been putting together a charity airsoft game for about 15, 16 years now called Bad Blood, where we raise money for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Well, they're now called Breakthrough T1D. They rebranded themselves, but it's still raising money for diabetes research. And previously, we were also raising money for the Leukemia Society of America. Well, in that game, we have 4 different factions, actually. Currently, we have 4 different factions. We actually, at some point, we actually had more factions, but one of the oldest factions in that game was General Green's army. And I gotta say, so we have a little bit of a celebrity here. The original General Green for, I think, 3 or 4 years was you, Para, right?
Yeah, at least 3 that I can think of.
So for all you old timers or even new timers who play, who come to Bad Blood, this is a little bit of history here. So we got Para, who's General Green. Okay. Hey, Para. So, we're going to talk about, going to SHOT Show, because you'll be joining me, as one of my staff members at SHOT Show this year. And you also, he also came last year, but we'll talk about that later in the episode. I wanted to have you join us in looking at some of the new videos that got posted this week. All right, so let's get started here. The video I posted up most recently on Moondog 2A was a comparison video, and I don't do them very often, but I actually got an opportunity to compare a Vortex Strike Eagle, which is, not their most expensive. It's like their mid-range scope against, which is a 5 to 25 power scope, and it's a nice scope. It's got more features than my Diamondback Tactical, which is my go-to was my go-to scope for the longest time, and I'm comparing it against a Monstrum Challenger, which is their new long-range scope, and I give an honest accounting of both of them. And as you can see here, I don't know if you can, let me bring this all the way up to a larger screen here. If you can see a little bit of the comparison here, the Challenger is on the right, the Strike Eagle is on the left, and you can even notice in my footage here, the Challenger wasn't sharp from edge to edge. It's sharp like in the center third. When I adjusted the diopter and everything, but I couldn't get it sharp from center to the outer edge. The outer edge was always a little bit softer, so it's wasn't a totally flat image. In terms of just overall usage of it, so most of us tend to focus on the center as long as at least the center is sharp, and I was able to get some decent accuracy on a target from 100 yards. But I also got to weigh that in that this scope costs a little bit, just under $200, which is pretty cheap for a scope. So it's for a $200 scope, it's a good scope. It's just that it doesn't quite, compare head to head to a Strike Eagle, which I think is somewhere around $700, or maybe even up to $800, depending on where you're buying it from. I think I don't know. What have you been in the market for? Been going to any of the stores to buy scopes recently, Para?
No scopes, but red dots. I need more red dots for my pistols, so that's what I'm really looking into.
Yeah, we'll definitely stop at some of the red dot makers this year for sure. So this is so the bougie versus budget scope review is what I have currently. One of the interesting comments I was getting from some folks was saying that they thought Strike Eagle was their entry level budget, and $800 to me is not entry level, but maybe it is for.
So no, $800 for a scope, no. But then again, some of the guys that I work with, they'll throw $800 at a scope like it's nothing.
Oh yeah, I mean, considering that the next tier up in terms of their models is their top tier, which is the Razor HD, and that's like $2-3 grand. So it's a big jump from the 800 to a couple grand. So I guess for a $3,000 scope, 800's entry level. So
yeah, because like one of the other guys that I work with, he's ultra cheap, and he would probably throw 200 at the other scope real quick.
Oh yeah,
his whole thing is as long as I can hit the target, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Here's a comment from Ryan from Pick. Vortex is way overpriced compared to other brands. Yes and no. I agree. You're paying a little bit of a premium for Vortex, but you are getting exceptional customer service in terms of their responsiveness to you. Now, I've worked with Monstrum and a lot of the other budget brands, and they're good about, at least to me, in my experience. And again, this is a sample of one. When I've contacted them about an issue with any of their products, they've responded to me by email, maybe not as fast as some people would like, not as fast as Vortex, who, you can just call them with a phone number and they will just, respond back to you. But I think one of my buddies, Cyclops Joe, says that it's great that they have customer service, but a lot of people have them on speed dial because they're constantly having to call Vortex to return or deal with an issue with their scope. So I don't know. Which would you rather have? Not having to deal with customer service or dealing with really good customer service? So, yeah. So to Mark's point, Here, you get what you pay for. That in a lot of cases you will. Now, Ron Pick is saying, I've been in the industry over 20 years, and I have sent as many back as I have sent
I'm
Tauruses.
sorry, guys.
No, that's all right. So yeah, there are some brands that are somewhat notorious for having to send back and deal with issues. And the companies can mitigate it two ways: either one, by being very fast and responding to you, or two, not having problems in the first place. And I think I would prefer the the latter than the former in most cases. But that would be my thought on this. So check out the budgie the bougie versus budget review, and let me know if I was being fair to Monstrum on this. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Their scope wasn't a head to head comparison. The Strike Eagle was way better for in just really all the cases except for the price. So yeah, and hopefully Monstrum won't be too pissed off that I showed that their scope wasn't as good. So we'll see. All right, let's go to our non Pew Pew channel, and this one is my video that I posted in Moondog Reviews, where I did a test, and I did a full length video of this a few months ago, but this was the short that I posted this week. I did a 1 hour test with Blackbeard fire starter rope, and I left it inside of this water pitcher for an hour, and I tried to light it. So here, it's short enough that I can share it with you right now. Let me share the video.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start.
And you can see it starting to sink as water's getting into it and soaking into it.
In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will.
So what do you think, Parrot? Do you think that's a good product for with that kind of test?
Well, if it's sinking in the water, no. I mean, well, good thing I'm in a place where it doesn't rain as much, so I won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so I left that. It's it feels like a cotton rope. I thought it would feel like super waxy or stiff. But once you get it outside of the plastic wrapper, it's a pretty soft material. And even after when I had it in the water for an hour, I got it out, and it felt wet. It definitely was wet. But even though it was kind of wet and damp, it lit up. So, even if you get yourself caught in the rain, you can start a fire. Which is, if you're wet and cold, you definitely want to warm up as quickly as you can. So, I was really impressed with that. Have you ever had to start a fire in the cold?
No, no, I'm not an outside guy except for the airsoft. Anything after that, I'm inside. I'm still a city boy. Sorry.
Yeah. Understandable. All right, so that's the video that I posted up on my Moondog Reviews channel, and on my Moondog Go channel, I posted a video of my of an introduction to the American Dream Mall out in the Meadowlands in New Jersey. And I remember when I was still living in New York, and I would see them constructing this place, and I was always struck by the very bright colors of it, but I always wondered, what the heck was that? Because I don't believe they opened up until maybe 2017 or somewhere around there. But it is a huge mall complex right next to the Meadowlands Arena. That's where the New York Jets play. And you have to pay. It's one of those malls where you have to pay for parking. And I always find that a little bit annoying. But it is what it is. It's a nice mall. It's a large mall. But if you can see in that photo there, there's a section that looks like it's a tall, angular building. That is actually a ski slope. Para, have you been to this mall yet?
No.
Yeah, you'll see it
And
if
when
you
I visit back east, I have to go take a look at it. I'm looking at the short right now, so.
Okay, so here I'll share I'll share the short with everybody. Let's see. Hey, Moondog here. We are at American Dream, the big entertainment complex and mall here in the Meadowlands in New Jersey, and we're going to be exploring it today. So this is pretty wild. This is pretty huge. If you haven't been to this part of the country, or this part of New Jersey for that matter, you should definitely check it out. So that's just really a teaser for the videos that I'll be showing, and most of it will be focused on this experiential kind of place called the Paradox Museum. That's kind of cool. It's all these sort of visual paradoxes and sort of visual tricks. You know, where you go the Ames room, where you've seen this before, where you walk into the room, two people, and if you look at it from a certain angle, it looks like the person's like half the size of the other person. So they have one of those rooms there, and they have a lot of other visual illusions in that place. But I unfortunately didn't have the time to go into the ski slope, but it has a full on like 300-foot long ski slope, and it's legit. It's like one of those ones you've seen probably like in Asia or Dubai. And what struck me as I was walking through the mall, I'd see these people walking by me or coming in the opposite direction with full-on ski gear and boards. And this was in the middle of the summer when I was there. So that just was kind of jarring visually to see people in ski clothing. But because they were going to the indoor ski slope. And you can go use it for you can buy time to ski down the slope for an hour, sort of a ski pass. Or you can get annual passes or monthly passes to use the place. So it's a great place I suppose if you're doing training, especially year round. So that is an impressive part of the place. And they also have a Nickelodeon, a water park, and other things. So it's a pretty interesting mall. And next year, or no, it's next year. It's already next year. This year, I'm going to try to make time to go and film more of the mall. But you'll see on my Moondog Go channel, I have a bunch of videos of the Paradox Museum coming up in the next couple of weeks. All right, I want to get back to some of the comments that have posted up since we've been talking here. Mark Morris says, they won't be mad, they will fix the problem. And this is in reference, I believe, to Monstrum. And I totally expect them to do that as well. And I will talk to them, and we'll get into who we'll be seeing at SHOT Show. But I will bring this up to them when I see them at SHOT Show, and I'm sure they're going to bring this up to me as well. So, but that's a good thing about Monstrum is they do listen to user feedback, and they are aware if there are problems. So Vadim says, bought a Vortex tripod, accidentally dropped it on the head while hiking. They sent me a new head as well as a free cap. So yeah, they that's the kind of level of customer service that I would expect from, if you're going to pay extra premium for a brand like Vortex, they better come through like that. There's a couple of other brands that I've dealt with as just a regular consumer that I don't, it's not as a reviewer, that have gone the extra mile. Primary Arms is another good example. They're a really good company in terms of their customer service. DJI, I think I mentioned this last week. I just got my DJI camera back, so I'm really excited. I'll be using my DJI Pocket at SHOT Show this year, so I'm going to be excited about using this little bad boy. Great footage, by the way, on this thing. And it's saying that. Anyway. So it's totally working, but I had accidentally dropped this at the range because I was trying to put it into my pocket on my jacket, and I wasn't paying enough attention. I thought I was dropping it into the pocket. Instead, I was dropping it onto the concrete. So it ended up cracking the lens on the front, and I sent it back to them thinking I would have to pay to have a new head or replacement glass. And no, they said they would cover it under warranty, which kind of shocking to me, since I will admit that was totally user error on my part. But they sent it back to me, didn't charge me, and I just got it back today, literally today. But the thing is, the reason I was talking about excellent customer service, not only did they respond and send me a return label very quickly, but when they were done, they called me. They also emailed me, but I got a call from them saying, "Oh, we have shipped out your camera, and you should be getting it in the next day or two." Like, okay. Usually most companies consider an email enough, but they went the extra mile to actually call me. So I got to say, I am a big DJI fan from now on in terms of their cameras. So yeah, great company, great customer service. Let me see here. Hillbilly commented, I believe Black Bear Fire Rocks. Yes. In that reference to the previous video about a black beard, I believe he means. I might have typoed that. Yeah, all of the products that I've tested work. You can get them wet, and they will start up. And if you are in a dire situation, you're freezing, hypothermia can kill you. Yeah, that you'd want to have something that works in the damp cold. See, Pick says, yeah, they have great warranty, and one reason you have to pay more. Not a Vortex hater, just my experience selling them for a long time. Mark Morris responded, my brother got lost in an elk hunt. He used the powder from a rifle bullet to get the fire started. Wow. Okay. He also lost his cell phone in the snow. It was a whiteout. So yeah, especially if you live in more rural areas or in the parts of the country that get snow, getting stuck out in the snow with can be a life-threatening situation.
Yeah, I got a director call.
So I'm going to put
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to put Para on mute since apparently he got a call. All right. And Mark continues, he was rescued the next morning by the sheriff's department. Thank goodness. And we have Fluffy, 10mm Jeep guy. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. All right. So let's move on here. And hopefully Para will hit the unmute button when he's available and off his call. But we'll go forward and go to thumbnail this. Now, this is where I ask for your input and your suggestions on a caption or what I call a headline for a thumbnail that's coming up. And I'm going to be posting up a video of the Pulsar Hellion 2, which is a thermal optic. And this is the thumbnail that I'm going with for now. But, it's pretty straightforward. It's kind of dull. And I'm just gonna ask if you have any suggestions for a more clever headline to go with this visual. Plus, I actually have two different options for visuals, so for you guys to come up with ideas with. Here we go. These are the two thumbnails. The top left one is through the actual device, and you can see the photo from the previous one on the bottom right. The device is. Well, and a lot of night vision monoculars and thermal monoculars are really just optimized video cameras because almost all of them will also record video. So that's one of the cool things about it. The Pulsar Hellion, was lent to me by my neighbor, who was actually using it to rescue animals. Now, if you remember last year, they had those horrific fires in Maui. Well, she went out there as a volunteer. And one of the issues, along with a human tragedy, of course, everybody losing their homes, was that the pets on those homes, when they could escape, they didn't have, you can't explain to a pet, hey, your house burned down, your family is in a shelter somewhere. No, those animals didn't know where to go, so they would be hiding out, outdoors, abandoned, basically. Because they had nowhere to go. So she was one of the volunteers who went out looking for animals to bring them back and, take them. And she even brought some back to adopt because they couldn't reunite them with their families. But so she got this thermal optic to go around at night to go look for heat signatures of animals out there and that's how they were able to find them. So that's the reason I was able to test out this optic. All right, so let's see some of the comments we have here. Hillbilly says, I can see clearly now the light is gone. I like that one. I'm going to screenshot that. Oh, there we go. And here's another one from Hillbilly. The heat is on. Now that is an 80s reference from Miami Vice. Hey Perry, you back on? Okay. Any ideas for any thoughts on headline? You can come back when you get a second. Here's a suggestion from Ryan. Seeing beyond the visible. I'll screenshot that. Oh, and I missed Gizzard Gary. Gizzard Gary, how are you? Thanks for joining us. So yeah, those are some great ideas. Hopefully Para can come back and with some ideas as well for that. And I'd also like to ask you guys, does anybody else out there in the live stream, in the chat, have thermals? I think all of us probably would like thermals. I certainly was. I mean, I borrowed this one because I think the retail price is somewhere about three grand for this thing. So yeah, not something that is on my budget, but it's certainly on my sort of wish list of things that I need to get for just to have for preparedness reasons, because everybody should have a night vision. Everybody should have thermals just to be able to see around their property perimeter. To see in the dark. And here's another suggestion from Pick, Beyond the Darkness. All right, these are great. Thanks, everybody. All right, we'll move forward. We'll move on. Great suggestions, everybody. Thank you for that. Okay. So here's the next clue for our Name the Brand contest. So you'll see the logo there. So what is the name of that brand in that logo? And here's the clue. The company was founded in Ogden, Utah in 1878. So it's been around for quite a while, by brothers Matthew and John Moses. So that is your clue. Type in the hashtag symbol or pound symbol for us old folks with the name of the brand that you see here. And you'll be entered into the drawing at the end of the live stream. And be sure to hit that to include the hashtag before naming the brand so that the live streaming contest software picks up your answer. Okay, so let's move on. So the word of the week. The word of the week seems a little bit of a no-brainer, but it was to me, I guess, because I didn't have enough brain. The SHOT show is the word of the week. And SHOT, I didn't realize this was an acronym, actually. I just thought it was just that's just the name of the trade show. But SHOT actually stands for Shooting, Hunting, and Outdoor Trade Show. I didn't know, so I don't know, maybe I'm dumb, but I always just figured it was, it's like if you need a name for the show, SHOT Show. It's like Concrete World. I don't think Concrete World, the expo that's going on also in Vegas at the same time as SHOT Show, I didn't think that was an acronym, but it was new to me. It was absolutely new to me. Let me know in the comments if you didn't know that SHOT was actually an acronym, because usually when you see it, listed anywhere or mentioned anywhere in print, it's just the words SHOT. Though I did note that it was interesting that they capitalized everything, but that should have been a clue. But, to be explicit, I would have, why not have a period behind everything? But anyway. So the reason I bring this up is because as we go down the rabbit hole in this section of the show, I'm going to be asking for your thoughts and suggestions for SHOT Show. Okay. There's a comment from Hillbilly. Hashtag Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. And this is in reference to this logo. Possibly. All right. So Druss said, I didn't know that. It was never listed as SHOT. See, yeah, okay. So I'm not the only person who didn't know that. Yeah, but anyway, for those of you who don't know, I go to SHOT Show every year, which is the big industry trade show of the firearms industry trade show. And it's the biggest one in the world as far as it's huge. It's in Vegas every year. It's so big that they actually have to use two different expo event centers. One is the Venetian and the Caesars Expo Center, and they're next door to each other. It's actually behind the Venetian in terms of geography. There's the Strip, and there's the Las Vegas Strip, and Caesars is on one side of the Strip, on one side of the street, and the Venetian and the Palazzo Hotel Resort Complex is on the other, and behind the Venetian is their expo center, and also, oddly enough, is Caesars Expo Center, just because of the real estate, I guess, that they have that space. But what they actually do is they actually temporarily put a walkway bridge between the two expo centers, so to connect them. So not only is the full expo center at the Caesars used, they use both floors of the Venetian and multiple extra floors in the conference part of the Venetian, the conference room sections of the Venetian. So yeah, the thing is huge, and it's cavernous. So there's no way you could. I don't think there's any way you could visit every single booth brand. There's like, I don't know how many thousand brands are there at SHOT Show, but I'm trying to make my attempt to hit the big ones as well as the ones that I'm really interested in. So I just wanted to share some of the places that what I'll be seeing this week. Also, Gizzard Gary is going to be, there we go. SHOT Show is a registered trademark. So sorry about that, but I'm glad that you, that Gizzard pointed that out, registered trademark. And Gizzard Gary is going to be there as well. So the Monday is Industry Range Day. And when you see footage online from other content creators who post up, going to the range and trying out some new rifle, that's actually on the Monday before SHOT Show. Because technically, SHOT Show starts on Tuesday, not Monday. So on the Monday before SHOT Show actually officially opens, and this is when all the booths are being built and stocked up, the brands. But during that day, a lot of brands will be doing their demos where the attendees, especially special invite attendees and especially invited people in the media, get invited to go to a local range. And by local, it's like an hour drive away from Las Vegas, from the Strip, or practically an hour. And you get to go to a gun range and try out the firearms of various brands. So while there, I'm definitely going to hit up Barrett, Ruger, Keltec, Armscore / Rock Island, Leapers, Umarex, and Walther. And let me know which, in the comments section in the chat, let me know which other brands you'd like me to try out, any new, or if you know of any new products that are coming out that you think I should definitely check out. I'm interested in checking out Keltec's new 5.7 pistol, which is kind of a throwback looking concept pistol. It shoots 5.7, but it is a top loading pistol. That's unusual. And I'm just wondering why is that a beneficial thing? Is it just to get around so that it's a full 50 state kind of regulation kind of the reason that's required or needed somewhere? Not sure, but it'll be interesting. That's for sure. I'll be interested into shooting that. They also have brands that sell accessories or upgrades, and you also get an opportunity, depending on the brand, to shoot fully automatic, depending on who's out there, and shotguns as well. Ryan Pick said, just like the old Grendel design before they became Keltec. Did Grendel have a top-loading pistol? Interesting. I'll have to look that up. And Drew says, I can't wait for range day. And the thing is, there's actually a couple of different range days. The one I'm going to is the one that's organized by NSSF, which also organizes SHOT Show. There's some other range days. I think Staccato has their own, or at least they're part of some other organized range days. Sig Sauer's got their own range day. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy says Leapers UTG is not far from you. Oh, you're in Michigan. Okay. And Ryan Pick says, yeah, 380. I'm not sure what that means, what the reference to, but anyway. Oh, okay. Sorry. Drew 718 is actually Para. And the reason he's on the side chat is his phone's not working. So that's why he's you don't hear him on on screen right now. All right, so that's Monday. Yes, and Ryan responded 380 Grendel top loader. Yes, so yeah, that was in reference to the fact that it's a top loading pistol design. Yeah, that is not a very common thing to see. I think the only one I can think of, the other top loaders are really unusual, like the Bowser. So yeah, it's not. I don't know of any other. To be honest, I can't really think of any top loading pistols off the top of my head. All right, so Tuesday is the real official start of SHOT Show, and I've already booked in appointments to stop by Right On Optics and March Scopes, which is my biggest, most popular video on my channel is the March Magesta scope. So I really appreciate that they lent one to me. So I'm hoping they'll show some hot new product that they'll be willing to lend me a scope of whatever the new thing that they're going to be presenting this year, and I'll talk to them. They're really nice folks over there at March. Then I'm also going to stop by Olight, and they're going to be debuting a new O sight. And I reviewed an O sight recently, and I'm kind of late to the game in terms of reviewing that particular red dot. But I think it's a great red dot. It's just that the concern a lot of folks have with a rechargeable red dot is, of course, like anything rechargeable. So you're worried that, oh, what if your battery dies? You can't just sit there and recharge the thing. That was a concern of mine as well. But in working through the sort of logic process of that, the one key benefit of the O-sight is that it has that cover, which can recharge the unit while it's on. You just put the cover on. So when you have it when you're storing it, you put it into your gun case, just put the cover on, and the cover itself can fully recharge your O-sight up to 4 times because it has its own onboard battery inside of the cover. And the other important thing is that the cover will display, once you have it put on, it will display how much of a charge the actual O-sight has. And I think that is a big feature, because I don't have any of my red dots will tell me how much of a battery charge the coin battery inside of it has. Is there one out there that has that feature, or has a feature that tells you, when it's like halfway? There are some full-sized red dots that will like blink and tell you when the battery is just about dead. But I don't know if maybe there are some micro red dots that have that. I can't remember if any of the ones I have that feature, but more times than not, the way I find out the battery is dead is when I take out my firearm at the range and then I look through it and the battery's dead. So anyway, that's the reason why I've changed my mind about the rechargeable O-sight. And I also will have I have an appointment with Aero Precision and Keltec, as I was talking about earlier about their new pistol, and Discovery Optics. Of course, this is going to be their first year at SHOT Show, so I'm going to stop by their booth. They're going to be downstairs in Venetian at the first floor, the basement. And Telson Optics, which is a whole new optics company. I've got a review of their new scope. Don't feel bad if you've never heard of Telson, because they're a brand new company. They're going to be debuting at SHOT Show this year. So I'm going to be seeing, I've got appointments with all of those brands. TBD on the right side are brands that I don't have a set appointment with, but I know the folks out there already, or at least I've met them from last year. So hopefully if I have time in between any of these other brands, some downtime, I will stop by Burris, Mantis, Hilux, Leapers, Swarovski, Holosun, and Trijicon. And on Wednesday, we have appointments with Monstrum, Nightcore, Athlon Optics, Aguila. And the reason I have live stream, I don't know if they said they would like to have a live stream with me. I don't know if they have some sort of Ethernet at their booth or something, because I know that the public Wi-Fi for the attendees is not very fast. It's pretty bad. So I don't anticipate being able to get on to set up any kind of live stream even with my phone at SHOT Show, but we'll see. Maybe they have some sort of setup over at their booth, and they have a pretty nice booth. So maybe it's very likely, it's very possible. I shouldn't say very likely. It's very possible that they have some sort of high bandwidth internet over there. We'll see. Primary Arms, Cytron, X-Vision. They're a optics and thermal company. Bear Creek Arsenal, and EVIC. And knock on wood, I should be able to also stop by. EVIC's throwing a party in the after hours of SHOT Show. So that's going to be on Tuesday. So hopefully we'll get a chance to go to that if I'm not too totally wiped out. But they usually throw a great party. They have an indoor airsoft arena and virtual reality shooting range in Henderson, just south and east of the airport. And it's a great time. At least in the last 2 years that we've gone, the party is great. And Daryl says, free food. That's always a plus, of course. Yeah, they bring in pretty good food. So I think it was a local Thai restaurant that catered last time, and that was good food. Yeah, it was. So yeah, worth going to. And hopefully, if I have time, I'll stop by Texas Precision Optics, Tipman Arms, Swamp Fox, Zero Compromise, and Sig Sauer. And on Thursday, we got Enjo Sporting Optics. They make binoculars and spotting scopes and monoculars. Palmetto State Armory, Leupold. And on Friday, I've got now I should say Thursday is usually really practically the last day of SHOT Show. Most of everybody starts wrapping up, and some brands even start tearing down their booths at the end of the day of Thursday. Friday technically is still a show day, and if you are an exhibitor, you do have your booth through Friday, but a lot of places start really seriously tearing down on Friday. But I do have an appointment with 511 Tactical. I'm really excited because I got a chance to see their sort of John Wick sporting coat blazer last year, and I even made a little video of it. I just got a press release that they're finally releasing it, so maybe we'll see the actual production version or the retail version at their booth on Friday. And if I can squeeze it, I'll also try to stop by Valden Optics, Hawk, and Phoenix. And that's the plan so far. That's a lot of brands to stop by and see. And this is why I usually clock in about 9 miles of walking. I'm on my phone app, my watch, my fitness watch. I've averaged somewhere about 8 to 9 miles of just walking every day at SHOT Show. So it is a huge event and just lots of stuff to see. All right. So if you have any thoughts of any brands or new products that you think that I absolutely have to see, if you've heard about and are really dying to have me take a look at and maybe post up a video, let me know in the comments in the side chat, because I'm willing to stop by. I know I'm going to have a little bit of downtime between the two. I mean, the various booths in the various days. Our poor feet for that week. Yeah, so Daryl knows. I warned him last time that, yeah, you're going to do a lot of walking. And yeah, it's no joke. All right, so for the contest, let's get into the contest. This is the final clue. Name this brand. Get your hashtag and the name of the brand in the side chat. Here's our final clue. Name this brand. This brand is famous for guns designed by co-founder John Moses, such as the BAR automatic rifle, their X-Bolt rifle, and their high-power 9mm pistol. So what is this brand? Type in the name with a hashtag, the name, in the side chat, and you'll be automatically entered into the drawing. For our long range accuracy swag pack, and that includes, I'm going to put in a bunch of decals from big name scope brands and that are known for long range. We got Tracked, we got Maven, we got Right On, we got Loopholed, we got Citron, Area 419. Well, they're not a scope brand, but they're maker of very high precision rails for scopes. And I'm also going to throw in a 3-pack of Daniel Defense chamber flags. So that's going to go to the winner of the Name the Brand contest. And I'm going to be doing this, I think, if I'll be doing this for the rest of the year. I also want to point out that I will be posting a video of this particular kind of contest where I said name this brand. I made a video last year at SHOT Show where I showed a bunch of different logos to attendees at SHOT Show and to see if they could identify the brand. And so I made a little video of the whole exercise, and very few people actually could get all of the brands that I showed. But it's worth it to just see how the responses are. And if I'm going to ask everybody, so when you see the video that's going to go live on Saturday for this, to answer the quiz yourself in the comment section. And if you take a screenshot of that, you can enter into the contest that I'm going to be giving away a bag of swag, stuff full of swag from SHOT Show this year. So you'll be entered into the contest if you send in a screenshot of your answers. So Ryan says, love my Area 419's accuracy. Yeah, they make really precision rails, scope rails for rifles, really high quality, just milled, absolute perfection. Great company as well. And so check out the video. It's going to be airing this Saturday, and get into the contest. You can find information about the contest on my website at moondogindustries.com/contest. So, and I will actually post up a link directly to the logo contest page on my website right now. And by the way, you can also find all of my show notes, and I'm going to go to my website actually right now. You can find all the links to the things that I discussed on today's episode in my episode show notes. And I will post up a link to that page right now. So, Para, I don't know if your phone's still working, but I will, Para, can you hear me? Oh, maybe, I don't know if he can or can't hear me, but in any case, I will do the countdown for the drawing. All right, so the brand is Browning, for those of you who don't know, who didn't know, but the brand is Browning, and we're going to do the drawing right now. Uh-oh, okay. I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna mute Para so that he can cough without. Let me share this. Okay, let's do the drawing now. See who wins. Gizzard Gary. Actually, Gizzard Gary won last week too. No, sorry, I'm wrong about that. He won at Hillbilly's live stream on Saturday. So I should also point out, join me usually every Saturday on Hillbilly's live stream, Guns, Beer, and Therapy. That is at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. Eastern on Saturday nights. And Gizzard Gary won the Schmidt and Bender tote bag that we gave away on Hillbilly's live stream. So, Gizzard Gary, I just sent you. Congratulations, Gary! I just sent you yesterday the tote bag. So, if you're up for it, I'll be sending you this swag pack. There we go, Gizzard Gary. Congratulations. All right. So I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank my guest Para, who is busy working today for joining us, and he'll be joining me at SHOT Show next week. And I just want to again thank you for tuning in and for joining the side chat this week. And if you have any other further suggestions or things that you would like to see at SHOT, please don't hesitate to add it to the comment section after this video posts live. But I will not be live again next week because just the timing at SHOT Show and the internet connection at the hotel and at SHOT Show is terrible. So I'm just not going to even bother. It's just going to be lag city if I try to do a live stream. So we're going to do the live stream in 2 weeks. So join me again in 2 weeks on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for our next live stream. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching, and thanks for commenting in the side chat. You be safe out there. God bless. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.